Welcome to the Explainer. Okay, so today we're diving into something pretty wild, a new super exclusive bootcamp that's being called the Ivy League for the next generation of online superstars. Yep, it's called Streamer University, and trust me, it is completely changing the game for anyone trying to make it as a creator. So to really get what makes Kai Cenat's Streamer University so different, you just have to hear how people talk about it. It's been called a wild, all-expenses-paid IRL event. I mean, right away, you know this isn't some boring online course you click through. This is a full-on, in-real-life experience. All right, so what is Streamer U really? I mean, beyond the hype. Well, for starters, you can forget about your typical fan meet and greet. This thing was designed from the ground up to be a serious career launchpad for the next huge names in streaming. Okay, at its heart, this is a totally new way of thinking about creator education. It takes you way beyond that endless grind of watching YouTube tutorials, and instead, it literally drops you into this immersive, offline world where you're getting mentored by the absolute best in the business. And if you want to understand just how big the ambition here was, just look at where they held it. This wasn't some little workshop in a hotel conference room, you know? No, this was a full-blown campus event at the University of Akron. They gave 120 hand-picked students a real, authentic college experience. Okay, so let's say you're one of the lucky few who actually got in. What do you learn? What's on the syllabus? Let's take a look inside the curriculum that's being built for the next generation of creators. So the curriculum really boils down to three huge pillars. And here's the key. You're not learning this stuff from professors with theories. You're learning from top-tier creators who've actually done it, who've built these massive audiences themselves. We're talking content strategy, growth hacking, and maybe the most important part of all, you get to network with the pros. Now, check this out. When you put this side by side with a traditional college education, wow, the difference is just night and day. Streamer University is completely free. All expenses paid. It's all about practical, real-world skills, and the whole point is to be a direct launchpad for your career. That is a completely different deal than walking away with a degree and a mountain of potential debt. So, how big of a deal was this, really? Well, the numbers behind the whole phenomenon are pretty staggering, and they tell a really interesting story about where this whole industry is headed. First off, let's just talk about the sheer demand. We're talking millions of applications for just 120 spots. I mean, just stop and think about that for a second. Millions of people looked at this thing and thought, that's it. That's my golden ticket, my one shot to make it big. And from those millions of hopefuls, only 120 students got in. 120. That is an acceptance rate that makes the actual Ivy League look like a piece of cake. So getting in wasn't just an opportunity, it was this huge statement that, hey, you've been singled out as one of the most promising creators on the planet. All right, so for those 120 who actually made it through that insane competition, did it even live up to the hype? Well, the verdict is in, and it's a near-perfect 4.7 out of 5 stars. So yeah, this wasn't just some popular event. It was clearly a transformative experience that absolutely delivered on everything it promised. And that rating proves it wasn't just educational in some, dry academic way. No, this was an unforgettable experience. People called it chaotic fun, and it gave the creators who were lucky enough to be there a real, tangible, huge boost to their careers. So, you have this incredibly successful experiment, and it's already setting the stage for what's coming next. Which brings up the big question, right? Where does creator education even go from here? Well, we're already seeing some pretty clear signs that this model is not only here to stay, but it's evolving fast. For one, Kai has already teased an even crazier return for 2026. We're also seeing some interesting new monetization ideas being tested, like sponsors integrating crypto rewards. And all of this just leads to the million-dollar question. Who's next? Which other top creator is going to launch their own version of this bootcamp? And that really brings us right back to the big question we started with. As the whole creator economy gets more and more serious, turning into a totally legitimate career path, are these super specialized, mentor-led bootcamps becoming the single most valuable education an aspiring creator can get? Is this the new Ivy League for the digital age? It's definitely something to think about.